Thanks, Ali, for those two videos. No, I do not believe that faith is irrational, that somehow before you enter the house of faith or belief, that you have to leave your brain in a box by the front door. I think a lot of people think that if you can't prove something by reason or demonstrate that it's reasonable, using your rationality, that's when faith kicks in. In order to believe, you have to have faith. I don't think that's what Christianity teaches, certainly not Christianity. God gave us minds to use, reason to use, and the Christian faith certainly does have evidence to support its claim to truthfulness. I believe it's utterly reasonable. I believe there's historical evidence for the existence of Jesus Christ, the death of Jesus Christ, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I believe there's historical evidence to show that the Bible is trustworthy. So yes, faith is utterly reasonable. You don't have to be a madman to believe in Jesus Christ. Does faith have anything to do with the understanding of the physical world? With regard to evolution and atheistic evolutionists, their faith has a lot to do with their understanding of the physical world. None of them were there when this world, as we know it now, came into being, whether that happened gradually. None of them were there at the Big Bang. They have used their reason to delve into the physical world to supply them with answers, but evolution still remains a theory that has been accepted, yes, commonly by most of the scientific community, but a theory nonetheless. And ultimately, it is their faith in their reason and their understanding of the evidence that they rely upon. So if atheistic evolutionary faith has something to do with their understanding of the physical world, Christian faith can have something to do with our understanding of the physical world, and it does. But there are those who would argue, and I think they're right, that science itself, as we know it today, would not exist if it were not for the Christian worldview. Let me just read from this book. By the way, this is from a book called The Case Against Christ by a guy called John Young, if you want to look at it. There you go. He writes here, the historian Herbert Butterfield affirmed that science is a child of Christian thought. The philosophers A.N. Whitehead and John McMurray made the same point. McMurray affirmed that, quote, science is the legitimate child of a great religious movement, and its genealogy goes back to Jesus, end quote. Those who take this view emphasize that science could only get underway when certain factors were present. One of the most important ingredients was the correct mental approach. For true science to develop, it was vital that certain beliefs about the nature of the world should be widespread. The belief that matter is essentially good. 1. 2. The same laws apply everywhere. 3. Human beings are called to be stewards of creation. And 4. Time moves forward in a straight line rather than around in circles. These views are expounded in the Bible. In contrast, some religions teach that matter is evil, or that we should be detached from the world, or that different gods rule different aspects of life, or that time goes round in endless circles. Some ancient Greeks and medieval Arabs were very good at mathematics and deeply interested in scientific questions. These were important advances, but in the event it was Christian civilization which brought science to birth. Dr. Peter Hodgson, lecturer in nuclear physics at Oxford University, this is back in the 80s, put it this way, quote, Christianity provided just those beliefs that are essential for science and the whole moral climate that encouraged its growth, end quote. So, yeah, faith, and even Christian faith, does have a lot to do with our understanding of the physical world. My faith informs me, for example, in the physical world, to be pro-life, not to bomb abortion clinics. It informs me to forgive and not to take revenge into my own hands. It informs me to do to other people as I would have them do to me, to love other people as I love myself. It informs me to be just, not to deceive, not to con, not to take advantage of other people, not to take another person's life. All these things are aspects of the real and physical world in which we live. I look at the character of the invisible God made visible in the historical person of Jesus Christ, the metaphysical made physical, and I understand how I should live and relate to other people in the real and physical world. If you remove that, separate faith from life, create a secular sacred divide, then you give me license to believe in Jesus Christ, yet to do what I see fit in my own eyes, to act the way I want to act in the world without reference to anybody or anything else. So yes, faith has everything to do with the physical world in which we live. Well, thanks for your message for theists. I think it was a message rather than a massage that you were offering. Your title, that's what I'm referring to. You can change the spelling if you like. Yeah, well, I hope that answers some of your questions. Cheers, Ali. Bye.